What's going on, fam? Hope everybody is doing fantastic out there. So I have got another channel first. I may have done some Kershaw stuff, but it's either been some really old content or I haven't at all, and I can't recall. Which is kind of crazy considering Kershaw is kind of what got me into the more quote-unquote high-end knives. And I apologize, I'm popping my knuckles while I'm sitting here talking to you guys because, well, my hands are hurting. But anyway, yeah, Kershaw was kind of what got me from the gas station knives into where I'm at now. And we're talking 20 years ago. I don't know. It seems like it probably has been 20 or so years ago. But it was the Kershaw Skyline. Excuse me, my brain went completely blank. Skyline was one of them. And then there was also someone who was very well known with Kershaw was Ken Onion, and the CRKT Ripple was another one that kind of got me into this as well. But yeah, the Skyline, the Leak, the Blur, and then the Ken Onion Ripple. Those were my first foray into quote unquote higher end knives. And I actually had a first production run of that Ripple, which was really cool. I wish I could still find that knife. I have no idea what happened to it. I've moved so many times, I've lost it. But anyway, we're going to jump into these. We're going to start with the auto, and then we're going to go into the other knife. So these are both USA made. Some USA made goodness. The boxes have seen a little wear, but these are both from the Lefty Pass Around. So huge shout out to Lefty. Much love to him and to all the folks in the Pass Around. I really appreciate getting to be a part of that. It means the world to me. So the first knife we're going to take a look at is the Kershaw Launch. This is the Launch 19. So this is one of their latest autos. You've got kind of a two-piece show side scale here, and then you have your aluminum clip side. It is a reversible clip as well, so you can reverse that clip. You got the USA flag there, which is always awesome. But let's go ahead and do the typical stuff and just zoom straight on into this guy. Get nice and personal with it. So you do have a aluminum, I guess you can call it a bolster here, and then the G10, kind of a coyote brown G10 late piece here, and it is bolted in there. You can see that there. All your screws are inlaid well or flush. And I apologize, my dog has decided it was time to wake up and has come in here, is now starting to whine that I'm not showing her any attention. You do have a two-piece construction there again with the aluminum open pillar from there down. You do have some lanyard love, very deep carry pocket clip. It is not inset, and the screws are not flush, but you got plenty of room there. Again, like I said, it is reversible. On this side, you do have, again, that American flag that Kershaw puts on all of their stuff, or on their launches, and then Kershaw branding there on the pocket clip, and a really nice, I don't know if I would call this a clip point or a drop point. I'm gonna say it's a drop point because I don't see any upsweep at all. Yeah, we'll just call it a drop point. It could be a clip point, though. I'm going to wipe off this blade a little bit, though. All right. Got that blade wiped off here. The best I could, anyway. So you have a really nice satin blade with a coated flats there. You got swedge. Like I said, I'm still on the fence on that. I guess I should have looked up to see what they call that. I'm still going to say it's a clip point. There we go. Hell with it. And if it is what it is. There you have your for your launch series. You got your logo, the KIA CPM 154 steel on. I think the majority of the launch series knives, if not all of them, are the CPM 154. Really nice, semi-polished cutting edge. Looks to be very symmetrical. Looks good there. That is a flat grind. And your, let's see, I think it ends right there. So your plunge grind ends about right there. Kind of hard to see with those vertical lines, but you do have a really nice finger choil there, so you got a ton of room for sharpening. tip looks good, I believe. Yep, tip looks good. And you do have that coating on the back of the blade as well. So you can see that there. And the tip of it looks like you're missing it a little bit there on the tip. But a really cool looking knife. It's not for everybody, that is for sure. But I kind of dig it. I don't know, maybe I would like a different color here. You know, maybe even all black or maybe a blue or whatever. I'm not a huge fan of the coyote brown, but or the whatever you want to call that, desert tan. That's a little dark for desert tan, but again, it's a button auto, so yeah, these things have some snap to them, so they fly out. If you guys are familiar with ProTech autos, these things have the same kind of force and snap that a ProTech does. Just an absolute fantastic little knife. I really do like the Launch series. There's a lot of folks that collect this series and that have all of them. You know, so you know, it's definitely some good reasoning for that. They're fantastic knives. And again, CPM 154, fantastic steel. The Launch 19, you're looking at runs around 220 price range. They run their CPM 154 in that 58 to 60 range, which seems to be kind of the norm. We were talking about that with the Hogue knives previously. Those are some other really nice autos as well as the Hogue stuff, but yeah, just an all-around great knife. Fantastic feel in the hand. Very comfortable. These things are made to work, so they are they're just comfortable. They're just comfortable knives. You know, you kind of got the coldness of the aluminum, so there's not a ton of traction there, but you do get, like I said, the ergonomics do lock you in pretty well. A G10 that gives you some traction there towards the back as well too. Sizing on this guy, you're looking at 3.3 on the blade, and then a 7.7 on the overall. I want to say the blade itself is the cutting edge itself is only 3 inches. Actually, cutting edge is 2 3/4, right at 2 3/4. So a little bit less there because you do have that finger choil, but nothing too crazy. You know, just a really cool, very snappy side opening auto from our friends at Kershaw. And then the other knife here really needs no introduction. This is one that pretty much everybody is familiar with. Now this one does show some wear on the aluminum, on the coating, so just bear in mind that this knife has been through the pass round. I am fairly late in the pass round, so it's been through a lot of hands, so you will not, it will not be in this condition if you receive one when you order it, of course. So there you do have some coated aluminum. You do have a very deep carry pocket clip, so that pocket clip is sticking nice and proud of the scales there. You do have a reversible pocket clip. You got lanyard love, centered, of course. Not inset, but we do have flat screws. Same Kershaw branding. Again, there's that USA flag, so I guess they are putting it on all of their USA knives now. I couldn't remember if they were doing it on all of them or not. Go ahead and take a look at the blade here. So we got a really nice reverse Tonto, worn foot, whatever you want to call it. Kershaw branding there. And the Magna Cut on this one. So these guys run 200. You can find them for less, I'm sure. But 200 on the Kershaw website. Of course, Magna Cut, and they run their Magna Cut 62 to 64, which from what I understand is pretty good for Magna Cuts. You know, string me up in the comments if I'm wrong, but really well done blade. Cutting edge looks great. Again, kind of almost a semi-polish on that. And then the tip is extremely well done. This is another knife that I've been wanting to get my hands on for quite a while. I am really impressed with the action on it. As you can see, it's just phenomenal. It really reminds me a lot of the Deca, and just its ease of operation. But then it's also in how... So, from everything that I've seen with all the crossbar locks I've dealt with, all the button locks I've dealt with, geometry is everything. So this knife has a very, I don't want to say weak, but it is a weaker spring. The crossbar lock spring is not strong. It's fairly weak. It's really easy to pull back with one finger. Like, it takes no effort at all to pull that back. But what makes this thing have a good snappy action, same thing with the Deca, is the geometry that they put on the part of the blade that pushes the spring back, or pushes the lock bar back when you open it up. The ramp that they use there is a sharper ramp, so it gives you that kind of that snappier action. And that is what I've noticed with these guys. So you don't have to have adjustability. You don't have to have really heavy springs. You don't have to have a lot of stuff. As long as you put the R&D in there and have that geometry right, then you can have a crossbar lock that works really well, that's really fun to fidget with, and that just feels good, and you don't have to worry about it. Fantastic job on this. This is one I wanted to pick up anyway, but now that I've played with one finally, this one's definitely on my list. I don't like the color, so I'm pretty sure they make some other exclusives and whatnot. So if I can get one that's either blacked out or, something else, some other color, I'm definitely getting one. If I have to get I'm just going to call it the off-white, but I think it's like a grayish silver or whatever. If I have to get that, then so be it. But I do really like this knife. I've played with it a lot over the last week that I've had it. I've been carrying it a little bit and just kind of testing it out. Not really testing it out, but testing out the carryability of it and how well it functions and things of that nature. I mean, it's a Kershaw and Magna Cut, so at the end of the day, it's going to cut, it's going to perform, the blade's going to perform. I don't have any questions about that. It was just more along the lines of how it handles being carried, how it handles being fidgeted with when you're bored, and I know it's going to knife when I need it to knife. It's just whether or not did everything else fine. But it does fit the hand really well. Pocket clip disappears. It's kind of, there's nothing really to complain about on this knife. I really like it. The jimping on the back is functional. You kind of want that to be a finger choil there. And I guess it kind of can be. You can kind of partially choke up there. But again, just as I always say, be super careful, because the knife is sharp. It's going to cut you if you end up getting on that blade. I do think it's a little odd that the crossbar it looks almost brown to me. I could be wrong there. It could just be my eyesight or my lighting or what, but it looks almost brown. I do think that's odd. But that's, you're talking nitpicks there. I do love the knurling or the texturing on both the lock and the thumb studs. They work really well. It grabs you without being aggressive. So it allows them to do their jobs without you having to put a ton of effort, a ton of pressure. So you can literally just let it do the work, and it grabs your meat or grabs your skin or whatever, allows it to pull through. It works. Fantastic blade. Really nothing more to say about it. This thing is pretty lightweight. It is just over a 3-inch blade. It's 3.1, 7.3. Fairly lightweight, like I said. Not quite Deca range just because it is aluminum, but it's a 3-ounce knife, 3-inch blade, so really well done there. The launch is a little bit heavier because it has more mechanism. Really, it's not. It's 3.1 ounces. So the launch actually kind of weighs the exact same and has a little more blade to it. So a little more blade length, I'll say. But fantastic little setup here. These are pass-around knives, so I kind of hesitate to do a cut test with them, but I kind of feel like I want to anyway. So a rare cut test on a pass-around knife. Yeah, and I'm pretty far back on this one, so it's still pretty damn sharp. You can tell it's been put through the ringer and probably needs to be honed up a little bit, but towards the tip especially, it's still nice and sharp. So that one's not too shabby. Let's see how this one's fared, if it's been used much at all. Okay, so this one's had way less use on it. Like I said, that's that poor Bel-Air kind of seems like it's been put through the ringer a little bit. Anyway, let me get this piece of paper cut the rest of the way here. Yeah, so fantastic knives. I really don't have any complaints on either one of them, other than looks. Yeah, I don't like the color on either one of them. I do like the blade shape on this guy. I typically don't go for that kind of blade shape, but it does look good with the angles on this blade, or on the handle, excuse me. And then the Bel-Air is just a good looking knife. I mean, it's symmetrical. It's not breaking the mold for anything, but it's a good looking knife. It's Magna Cut. You know, it's Magna Cut that seems to be done well. Yeah, what you guys think? I know there's a lot of folks out there that really like the Bel-Air, and I know there's a ton of folks out there that really love the Launch series. It is nice to have some American-made blades on the channel. I know, unfortunately, I don't get that a lot, but it is nice when it happens. So I appreciate you all for watching. As always, please remember, be kind, be humble, be EDC. Take care.